back to Relics of the Past, where we have Matt playing
Hello.
as...
I am Eiko Sugimoto. I am a blade singer, and I hate my grandson.
Along with Viking, who's playing...
I am Michaeleen, and I am on a mission to avenge those who were taken from me.
Along with Dare, who is playing...
The name's Abe. I am a Warforged Artificer with the Morpher subclass.
With his brother, we have Nate, who's playing Kain, which he is playing a Umbras parasite warlock. And we have Siren, who's playing
Estrella Polymer. I am a hobby and a sorcerer of sorts, and I'm currently going through things. A lot of things. I need a drink.
While going through things, I was thrown through 2 walls.
I was turned into a magical girl, and I wear a duck dress. Everyone's
At least your bones are intact.
Estrella, let's be honest, that was a show we all loved. And Eiko, you weren't thrown through any walls, you were just thrown through a couple open doors.
Well, you can't really feel the difference when you're flung into them.
And second of all, that wasn't a show any of you got paid for. So you shouldn't have been seen in the first place.
If that's
Anyway, my magnificent players, can I continue to do the opening segment, or are you guys gonna bicker?
No, go ahead, continue.
I'll get my PC set up. Give me a minute.
Anyway, last we left off, the party made their way through the mountains via assistance they gained from the allies they made in a skullcutter ant nest. With this ability, they were able to cut their travel time down tremendously, only now having to travel a week in the desert to make it to the nearest town of Arathnica, which they met half of it earlier, on the great centipede of the Arathnica caravan. And they're currently about 3 days out, as they bed down for night 3 to wait for day 4 to begin.
We are right here.
So,
I have the world map open, so if you guys want to look, we're like right there.
But as you guys were about to bed down in another one of the natural shelters that have been set up, which are simple 60-foot by 60-foot by 40-foot rooms of stone rooms set up in the desert, which have multiple entranceways on each side. They are meant to get covered by the desert and uncovered to give travelers a place to settle and set up. Night. You guys are about to enter one and was hearing music coming out from the doorway. As you walk inside, you see a small fire crackling. As you see what looks like to be a robed figure sitting on the ground playing some sort of instrument. It seems to be string-based instrument. As you hear them pluck the strings with what looks like to be a gray hand with slightly elongated fingers. As you see them, the light getting off, the room itself is naturally dark with like shades of orange and yellow from the sands, and basically light from the campfire and doorway coming in are the only 2 sources of light in this room right now. But from what you gather, they are wearing some sort of yellow robes that used to, from your rough gaze, look possibly very beautiful. They probably were once very beautiful and like regal at one time, but it seemed to have lost that luster over the time and now look rather drab and worn out.
Hello there, stranger.
As you say that, they pluck 2 last notes that seem to linger in the air as the silence takes its place.
What kind of instrument is he playing? Loot?
Yeah, I was
Guitar?
gonna ask. Can
Or
I roll history on what the instrument is?
Sure.
16 plus 5, so that is 21.
You recognize a string instrument as a Quran harp. Quran harps are a bit of an interesting instrument. They actually are two, it's like they have two separate stringed elements. So they have the main neck that's maybe about a foot to 1.5 in length, but then they have a smaller one that's kind of slightly harmonic underneath, but it's at like an angle. So they kind of cross us over the face.
Am I able to tell if it's good craftsmanship?
From you can tell, similar to the robes you see, it looks like it was once probably very good craftsmanship, but it has most certainly seen the annals of time, but yet it still holds its sound rather nicely.
It's a beautiful instrument you have. Must be very well loved.
As you see its gray hand kind of come back into its robe, as it like sets the Quran harp onto the ground. It simply turns around and looks to you, and you see what looks like to be it where it has a mask. You cannot see its eyes in any sense, but the mask itself seems to have a very neutral expression to it.
Can I?
As it seems to have a hood over the top.
Can I kind of see if, like, do I sense if this is like an actual humanoid or like person, and not like some sort of monster or creature in disguise?
If you'd like.
Like my cat senses.
Sure.
All right. What would I add to it?
Do perception.
Perception. Okay. And light. That's a 7. And my perception is plus 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's an 11.
11 altogether.
11 altogether.
From what you can tell, they are a living organism, but they are. If you know they're a living organism, but it just feels kind of like they're maybe something else. You don't sense hostility or angriness, just they feel off.
How long have you been playing for? Not in the literal sense, but how practiced are you?
I have seen nations rise and nations fall many times.
It didn't really answer his question, but I have a question to pose to you. Are you hungry?
Yes. Thank you for the offer, but I do not need it.
Well, in
As-
that case, may I use your fire?
Its pale gray hand comes out of its robe and gestures to the fire as almost like just verbally saying, "Go ahead." As its pale gray hand proceeds to retract back into its robe.
And then I'm going to get out Senshi's walk and make something to eat.
Can I tell if it's like mechanical or something?
From what you have seen so far, you're not gathering anything of that nature. They look to be made of flesh and blood, but again, have that off feeling about them. I will say
I'm gonna
this.
straight up ask him, "What are you?"
One moment. Michaeleen, as you walk around, you notice that as you kind of walk around, you see the robes on the front side that are wrapped over his chest. You can see like bits of what looks like to be maybe like gold lining around them, but it's kind of flaked off and chipped off over time, so it's just little
On
flakes
his skin or on his robe?
on the robe. Along with that, you can see what looks like to be more masks resting on a very simple golden thread around his waist. ace, kind of sitting on the top of his thighs, which are covered by the robe.
May I ask you how long you've been traversing this desert? As he sets up his wok and oils the pan.
If my measure, if I'm correct, I've been traveling for the last 3 months. You see the same thing as Michaeleen. It is, but I am used to such things.
Can I do an investigation on the masks? See if there's by chance any like cultural relevance to them, if they are of any like notable religion, maybe.
Sure, roll me a history check.
Like what kind of like is there something more to the masks, or is it simply just masks? That is a 16. Let me show my 16. I forgot to show my roll, but here it is. So that's 16 plus 5. So that is 21 again.
Okay. You realize the mask. You realize 2 things about the masks. A, you're pretty sure you read a book somewhere that mentioned a culture that had something to do with masks. And along with that, you can tell that the masks have just a very, very, very minuscule amount of magic in them. Just a very minuscule amount. At least, if you roll me an Arcana check, you can check on that. But one thing I will say is that each mask has a different expression carved onto it.
Kind of like in Shakespearean theater.
Yes, the joy.
Or kabuki theater.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do an Arcana check, I guess, on the masks as well. Why not? Let me
I will
turn the camera.
I will say this for the masks. The masks are actually the one thing on this person so far that's actually in pristine condition and actually look really well made.
That's a 3 plus. There's my Arcana. 3 plus 7. That's 10.
I'll give it to you. You managed to figure out that it's some variation or lighter version of the spell Calm Emotions.
Is there anything else I might chance to know about the masks' sort of cultural relevance?
That's about it. The book itself was very vague to begin with about the culture, but
the culture itself is kind of a mystery, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, what time of day was it that when we got in here?
So it was it was maybe about 4 or 5 hours before midday was hitting, but you guys decided to take an early rest.
Well, yeah, of course, because
so it was
about to get really hot.
Yeah.
And, going to throw some rice and some other things in there, and he's going to make some egg fried rice. But we don't have eggs, so nice. I'm going to go over to the ant who has all the nutrient paste in there and use that as a substitute.
Okay.
And as you go to do that,
how much do you use?
Estrella kind of taps.
Probably half a gallon.
A gallon's what? 8 pounds? I think I can say this now. This person you guys are talking to and looking at is an enigma. The masks are interesting. Someone once wearing regal-looking robes, tattered old to hell, but is wearing a mask and has a good number of masks on them that are in pristine condition and still look magnificent as if for day one that they were created.
You wouldn't mind if we were by chance to rest here for a little while, would you?
Of course not. Of course not. Weary travelers should take time to rest, to get away from the hot rays of the sun.
To get away from being thrown into doors.
Its head.
Eiko sort of remarks to himself. Eiko remarks to himself.
Yeah. Oh, to yourself. Okay, so it didn't hear. So you didn't say that loud enough for it to hear it.
I mean, he sort of muttered it to himself. I mean, if he has like good hearing, he might hear it. He could roll to hear Eiko.
Michaeleen's gonna do that with his cat ears.
Okay. Okay, Eiko, I want you to roll me a perception check real quick
16.
on this creature.
Yourself.
Yes, I know. I'm busy in the middle of D&D.
You said, wait, what did you say, which roll?
Make a perception check.
Oh, perception check. Okay, where is my perception? It's my wisdom, which is +1. Fun. All right, gang. Let's turn back to the dice camera. Wow. Look at those dynamic angles. That is a 9.
Okay.
So that's 10.
You don't really notice anything different, but it feels like something changed on him, but you can't tell what. As the only thing you see, I think, is it like you see him kind of look at you a little bit and like slightly tilt his head.
Is everything all right? Or?
You
Their mask changed. It's very interesting.
the mask that they once were wearing, which was a very neutral expression, now has been changed to a neutral expression, but with like a very slight eyebrow raise.
Yes. Wait, did you... Never mind. Eiko sort of just pauses and keeps a bit quiet.
Alright, I'm gonna
Also,
roll.
did Michaeleen hear Eiko?
Huh? Yeah, he
Michaeleen,
did.
you said you wanted to roll for hearing.
I did, and I rolled a 16.
That,
Plus
I'm
my
saying that yours.
perception. Plus my perception, which is +4. So
Your camera is stuck, at least for me, and you're just like raising your eyebrows over and over again. Oh, there you go. It caught up, I think. Oh, damn it.
So, with that. So then, what was I saying?
What's your name, traveler?
I have had many names over the years. Yes, but
Which is the name that you are currently known as?
I don't tend to stick to a particular name. They tend to fade with time, but I've gone on by the one who cries, the one who weeps, the one that I like the most out of most, but he kind of shrugs a little, would be Sorrow.
Right now, you're the one who eats.
as he gets him a roll of hospitality, and I'm going to quickly roll for cooking to see how good of a meal I've made. Come on, high rolls. 16. What do I add to cooking? Probably survival.
Performance.
Survival, and the cooking stuff adds a +4.
Survival is +4, so that's a +8. 16 +8, that's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So this, even though it was made from ant gut juice and rice and some other
Stuff.
choice
Let you match
items,
it.
it's pretty damn good.
It's smelling rather nice right now. And Michaeleen, roll me a perception check real quick.
Okay, one perception check coming up. Huh. That's a 12 plus my perception, which is +4, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
You notice that his mask You notice two things. You notice like one of the masks on his hip kind of wiggled a little bit and then changed to the one he was wearing previously, which was neutral tone with a slight eyebrow raise. And the one he's now currently wearing, one with a very soft, happy, warm smile, like, thank you, but it's not needed. Kind of would be the emotion that it would be representing. As he simply says, thank you for your generosity, but like I said before, I have no need.
Well, what my mechanical friend over there once said, but most recently, he began eating. So, just in case you change your mind,
He puts the bowl next to him if he does end up changing his mind.
who else wants?
Honestly, after being thrown through doors, I would appreciate that.
Here you go, Eiko.
Yeah. As you say that, Eiko, the creature raises up one of its grazed hands to its mask's mouth, and you can almost feel a very soft, audible giggle or snicker at that comment you made.
Eiko gives a little glare. Just a...
My apologies. Have you introduced yourself yet?
Eiko. Count Eiko Sugimoto.
Eiko,
To
please,
give his name
please forgive
to
me,
ship
Eiko,
you
but the
looking
comment you made
individuals.
was rather
Huh?
humorous.
I'm sorry, I was talking over you. What did you say?
He basically
It's not
apologizes.
big.
He basically apologizes that basically just snickering or giggling to Ayako's comment.
It's not as humorous when you're the one being thrown through the doors.
Oh
And he
my
glares over and he glares over at Kain.
Oh, I can believe that, good sir. Anyway, and he looks to, or they look to Ayako. Again, as they speak, their voice tone is kind of in between male and female, so you can't really tell which is which. Again, very neutral sounding voice.
Sounds kind of like a prepubescent, either boy or girl.
Think more AI, in the sense. Neutral AI.
Eiko starts chowing down, by the way. He's being very, I guess, careful and kind of respectful with
So,
eating the
DM,
food.
what bonuses does this egg fried rice, not egg fried rice, give us? Extra hit points,
Okay, then.
extra what now?
Okay, then. I'm going to say it gives maybe +1 to survival checks and gives you resistance to heat for a little bit, particularly sun heat. So it makes it where you can travel a bit more, and the sun isn't as bothersome.
Okay.
Michaeleen, this is lovely.
Thank you.
As Sorrow turns their head towards Abe, or the mechanical man, and their masks change once again, but to one more of a genuine, curious expression. So, if I understand this correctly, you once did not eat, but now you do.
It's a bit complicated. I don't know really how to say it.
Meanwhile, Estrella is on her third
Resistance.
place.
Hold on.
Meanwhile, Estrella is on her
Your
third place.
half-blooded friend mentioned such things. It kind of looks at you for a bit, and its expression kind of switches to genuine curiosity to a expression that kind of like, oh, so that's what's going on. Something kind of that nature. I see. Well, it is understandable. When a soul regrows, it needs nutrients. Makes sense. I haven't seen one of your kind in a long time, so I look eager. I am eager to see what tales are spun about you. Hopefully, I'll be there.
Has has
And I presume when you flicked your wrist out, you did a small demonstration.
sort of maybe one of those Assassin's Creed hidden blades came out.
Yeah.
Like Optimus Prime.
Or Generator Rex.
Yeah.
Or Optimus Prime.
Anyways. So, as the blade begins to pull out, it does raise one of its gray hands and stuff. Please. Understandable. I've seen what your people can do. As it kind of like gestures and like a light sweeping motion as your blade retracts back. Not forcing it, as you're doing it naturally. Just he kind of sweeps along. They sweep along with the motion. Yeah. Understandable. Yes. He was more so just going for the concern. I know, but it was more so he was. They were. I want to say he, but it's again.
They.
Yeah, that.
It.
The thing.
Anyway.
The thing with these movies.
Besides, this is it.
No, I'm pretty sure this is it, and I'm gonna send it in the D&D sessions.
No, this is Tim Curry. Literally signed by Tim Curry.
Oh, you actually got that signed by Tim Curry. That's awesome.
That is Tim Curry's autograph.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure this is it, though.
Okay, then. Pay attention, damn yous.
I missed
Okay.
you.
There. I'm going to say. So. I'm going to say this. You're intriguing. You're getting a little bit intrigued by this person because they've said your
God
people
damn it.
multiple times at this point.
I have to take a phone call. Be right back.
As if they almost know what you are.
You keep saying my people. Does that mean that there's more who are going through the things that I am? Is that even possible?
Many more, in fact. You are the current one in a long time.
The current one? What does that mean?
Guys, I will be right back. I have to go put my familiar back in his cage. And by familiar, I mean my pet squirrel.
Oh joy. Squirrel!
Sometimes I have to be put in the cage.
I did not need that image, but anyway. Okay, Derek, can you say the line again? I kind of lost my train of thought.
There's more of me?
No, more so when a large enough group of you get together, chaos tends to be sown in your wake. So more will come, just you're the first. More will come, just you're the first for this new start. Then let's hope your choices are wise. As it like tilts its head with a very fitting emotion to the conversation. Again, I will say this: as you talk to this thing, its mask is changing, but it's extremely subtle. Like you barely even notice it. Where it's like the expression of the mask will change as you talk to it. But throughout the entire conversation, it's still keeping. Like, it's letting emotion through, but the emotion is still, like, very much tempered with, like, control and coldness. Similar to the many peoples I have seen, I am rather ancient myself. To go into extensive detail would probably mean I'd be talking to nothing but dust by the end of my rant. But to put simply, I've seen a great many things. Things in my peoples are not well known due to that. We shared a number of things, but to put simply, that would be one. Now, I have bothered you enough as it is. I must start my work. As you see this sitting figure, which sitting from ground to up had to be at least a minimum of maybe like 4 to 5 feet, just like that. As it proceeds to stand up, this figure immediately becomes massively tall. We're talking easy like 12 to 13 feet tall. The robes covering everything. Though the robes cover. As you see this entity proceed to grab a small box from its tent and proceed to walk out the door or into the hot sun. I will be back later. Yes, it is where I have set my camp, is it not? I will merely be an hour or two. You shall. As the entity kind of walks you out the door, and as they walk into the desert, their golden tan robes kind of blend in. It almost looks like the second they take like 2 steps into the sunlight, they disappear. But if you look really hard, you can kind of see them, but just natural, almost like a natural camouflage. So, was the rest of the party doing while Sorrow has left the tent? Okay. If you'd like, you can DM me what it is specifically.
So I want to ask, how much longer till my sword arrives in the mail?
Well, again, when you sent it, you were in the town of Fritis, and you have traveled many miles and now into the desert. So
They gotta find me.
yeah, put it this way, and stuff.
I'm not getting my sword.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm putting
It's
things.
gonna take too damn long.
You might find the sword quicker than you might think.
I guess Eiko's mostly gonna just sit to himself, tend to his rapier, kind of polish it a bit, and think about his daughter. Kind of the strained relationship he has with her right now. No. All that's back at my manor.
I kind of think.
I'll mostly reminisce and
Okay, above.
just...
Honestly, I could kind of see Eiko maybe having like a very small, like a very, very, very small, like braided cordage with like a little like gold bead or charm on the end, which his daughter gave to him, and he just keeps on his sword.
Or maybe he got 2 of those charms. They both wore them at one point, but Eiko and his daughter have a pretty strained relationship currently. I guess I could tell out of character. Eiko's daughter married a commoner unknown to Eiko, and sort of went completely aloof and sort of just ran off with this man and that ended up making Yushin, and he's just
Livid.
He's livid, and he wishes he could reverse everything. He feels like he did a bad job protecting his daughter.
Yeah. We could, if you'd like, we could say maybe Eiko was giving someone commented on your sword and stuff, and a small conversation got struck up, and you kind of mentioned these things. In a very simple, not outright saying it, but gave very simple, maybe touch pouty explanation.
Yeah, like, I made this sword. Same sort of golden design that my daughter helped me make with a pair of bracelets and something like that. I haven't seen her in a while. Quite a long while. I don't know if she would want to see me. Well, she wasn't particularly happy with the marriage I was planning to arrange for her. She ran off with some archaeologists and you can get it. I don't know. I couldn't know. I haven't seen her, and I worry about her though a lot.
I know the history, but fuck, I don't even know what to say, considering my own issues. But of course we do.
I can tell you one thing though I have not seen my daughter. I have met the scoundrel that my grandson is. Petty thief, taking what he can, running around on the road. You're telling me, and to say that I'm happy with how my family's legacy is now would be I just put all this work into my family and showing my daughter the wonders of life and hoping maybe, she would take after me in some way, shape, or form, but threw it all away, and now I'm left with a mess to watch unfold.
Right, I'm back. What did I miss?
Emotions.
Conversation kind of got struck up between Eiko and Abe, and Eiko's telling a little bit about himself. At least he has mentioned his daughter, archaeologist, and grandson. That seems to be tainting the family bloodline. I did say grandson, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. For a moment I thought I said granddaughter. So, and that's basically where we left off. Oh, the stranger did walk out, saying he had a bit of work to do outside. When he stood up, when he stood up on his thing, he was about maybe 12 feet tall.
Did he
Nice.
take
You know,
the rice with him?
No, he did not. He left it on the floor.
Then I guess that's what Lucy's eating now.
you know,
Lucy was on the ground, so just eyeballing it, looking at Michaeleen, looking back at the food, going back and forth.
Oh,
Proceeds to pounce the bowl, makes mess.
anyway,
you know, well, when it was a couple years back, actually, when I first met him, and I had a little bit of hope that maybe, just maybe, there would be a little bit of what the Sugimoto family would be in that child. And I saw none of it. I saw a small thief running around picking pockets, making absolute.
where exactly was his mother and father when he was growing up? Because I myself spent 2 years on the streets of Kaindala, doing the exact
That's why I worried about her.
Well, maybe instead of trying to kill your grandson, which is very messed up, by the way, you should try and guide him on the right path. If not for Holviti, I'd probably be...
You don't get it. What I saw in that boy, I don't think any of you could understand what I saw that day.
Well, if we end up meeting him, try holding off on the whole killing him thing until we get a good chance to meet him.
I don't really want to kill him. I guess that's more or less my anger coming out and whatnot. But to see what he's doing, the fact that he's alone, not even with my daughter, it leaves up so many questions. I haven't seen her in so long. And to see him just running around gallivanting without any manners or... Feral. My daughter. I pray every night that something hasn't.
Well, if we find this child, then maybe we can set him on the right path. Hey, maybe we can reunite them. I know that if I had the chance to be reunited with my familia, I'd take it in a heartbeat.
As you guys continue this conversation, a couple hours pass by. As you see, the fire has died down to a very small flame, with surrounded by hot coals. The light from the doorway has diminished a bit, and you see the light from the doorway actually get blocked by something for a few seconds. As you see the strange figure walk back in, and you can see them holding what look like to be canvases in their hands, and they're holding what looks like to be 4 of them, 1 in each hand. As you see them walk back to their tent and carefully put them inside the tent, as you see 4 pale gray arms retreat back into their robes as they proceed to sit by the small fire, and as they should once again get it going once more.
Exit pod?
I will say this: their arms are. There's no form of plate, no form of scale, nothing. Just pale gray skin, if that.
But 4 arms and 2 legs?
By the way it looks, yes.
Thark? A white Thark? Tharks, but for those listening, are the green men of Mars from the John Carter on Mars series.
Speaking of which, there's something I want to talk to you about that later. But anyway,
Later.
Put simply, cool, nice comparison, but no, it's something completely different.
He's made up of hands. He's one of those helping hand dudes from the labyrinth.
Mm-mm. Anyway, so he and they proceed to sit by the fire and just simply.
Where you wanna go?
Yes, which way?
Up or down?
Well, since I'm pointed that way, I guess I'll go down.
She
Teach
down.
I do admit that scene was so cool.
Yeah.
Those hands were grabbing her in a way that I don't think we should be showing on movies at this. One of those hands was a little close to somewhere.
Well, no. Just saying. The ones that we saw that made the faces and stuff, that was such a cool scene.
Yes, it was. Anyway, back to the campaign!
Oh my
Yes, back to campaign. So, they speak up. I do have one question. What brings you people to the desert specifically? Everyone has a reason to travel the wastes.
We are going to the city of Erathnica first. Have you heard of it?
Yes, and the story of Erathnica is rather sad, if you know of that poor mother. Which he is referring to the centipede specifically.
What is so sad about these giant centipedes?
First off, she's the only one. And if you go far enough back, her name once was the Sad Mother. Either for the simple reason, as the tale goes and changed, either there are two somewhat agreed upon versions. Either A, she had a small clutch of eggs that was ravaged and did not make it, or she was never able to make it. Either way, A, she was not able to foster any young. But in the stead of young, people took the egg's place, and she decided to adopt the people instead.
She the last of her kind?
Have you seen any other great centipedes walking the lands?
In all my years of walking this continent, no. In fact, the first time I had ever seen the Erathnica was a few months ago. We rode on her back. The small town that was on there was quite amazing.
Yes, and from what I hear, the town of Erathnica, her nest, is just as magnificent as I hear, if not more so.
And the people are a little loud for my ears.
Most people are that way, Eiko. One must learn to deal with the sound.
I wish I knew how to learn.
I
would be
about to
very
say,
I have some
appreciative.
coins in my pack if you want.
Very appreciative. I would love that.
So,
hands him some cotton balls.
What's a hearing aid?
Yeah, what's that? Some old world technology or something? Olviti used to tell me stories about the old world, like he had experience with some of the technology. I don't really know, but he was human, so maybe he did, maybe he didn't. He told me about his homeland, but very vaguely. I know little about it, but who knows? There's some tech left over.
For a time, I studied it, but I never really could keep much interest in it. Though from what I have picked up, it's somewhat fascinating.
Well,
No, continue.
I was just giving Salt a look like, if you know, you know.
I'm sorry. I'm just enjoying this immensely right now. Just
What, the characters interacting with each other?
yes, and developing. I mean, I'm not even saying anything.
Well,
Yeah.
developing except Estrella, aside from, magical girl stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna hit the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Sure.
We haven't thrown Eiko through a door at all or hit him. It's almost like, if you don't hit him, he'll be interested.
Hey,
Okay.
take note of that.
So, anyway, Sorrow does ask the question. Arathika is a rather great city to visit, but if I'm correct, this time of year, actually, in a few days' time, at least, they are about to have a great festival or celebration soon. So if you hurry, you might be able to catch it.
Memory serves, didn't you give the blacksmith, Ezo, I think his name was, didn't you give him a project to work on?
What exactly was it, if you can remind me?
I didn't think he ever.
Heated toilet seats.
Abe? Big lizard. Hot-blooded and all.
They help with the pain.
The places Eiko, I'm gonna say this. Eiko's palace would have said things, and Architect would have them.
Eiko's palace has a bidet. That's how fancy it is.
It's not a palace. It's a manor.
I'm too good for paper. I use hot water to shoot up my ass.
I'm a lizard, so it's a cloaca.
DM's gone!
We won! We won! We won the... Ah, Damity's back. We lost D&D.
We can't hear him. He's shut up.
So we still won D&D? We win! D&D! I prefer wine. I'm a red guy myself.
Aren't you a pretentious ass?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just gay.
As this is going on, as everyone has been talking,
and using it.
Okay. I'll
As
explain
everyone
to
has
that
been-
later.
as everyone's kind of been talking, everyone's gonna need to roll for perception check to see if they noticed, but Estrella has sort of slipped off.
I'll quickly roll. That's a
Nate, you here?
natural 20 right there.
I grabbed my die.
Sarah will ask another question. So, where do you plan on going after you rested in Arathnica?
Well, we were. Yes. That.
Does anyone know where Estrella went off to?
I did get a natural 20, so Michaeleen did notice that she was.
Yeah, people who roll good enough, I've noticed that Estrella's kind of dip.
I got 10.
Oh. It's just saying, I don't know what the fuck you're doing right now, so.
I got an
Team
8.
doesn't know.
Michaeleen's gonna quickly poke his head outside and look and see if she's out there.
I will say.
Oh.
I will say this: the temperature outside it is rather hot, but I'm going to say at least that with the way it is, there is a little bit of shade on the door, so you feel the heat, but it isn't on you yet.
We did eat that wonderful meal, by the way. That does dampen the effects of the heat.
Yes, heat
I know.
And Estrella had 4 bowls of the stuff.
Estrella, you are gold.
It also gives us +1 to our survival checks.
So.
Very ferally. I get that energy from Estrella, and I like it.
Rice is a grain after all, which grain is a seed, which makes sense. She is a bird.
That, and she did willingly get deep-throated by the ant proboscis.
Michaeleen! You nasty fuck!
He's the
Why
only
did you
one who
mention that?
remembers. He's the
Not
only one who remembers.
wrong, am I?
You're not wrong, but why did you bring that up?
Unintentionally.
Show some of my asset.
Not the old man, no!
Eiko, just say, the only thing you have is an ass end. That's it.
We don't need a burlesque show from the old man! God! I need bleach for my eyeballs!
So,
You have to pay me for me to keep everything on.
since this is my character, I'm going to say that Estrella is actually a little bit of distance from the little hutch, as it were. She's not a little speck into the horizon, but she's a bit of walking distance away. She's sitting down and she's
Not
you
good,
see-
'cause we're in a desert.
she's nearby. She's just a bit of a walk.
She 50 feet from the actual structure.
She's
We could see her footprints, I'm sure.
Yeah, the footprints are fairly fresh.
Question is there
Sis, roll
worms
me a
lying
d20. Sis, roll me a d20 real quick for terrain real quick.
well, she's sitting down now, so
Yes, roll me d20. Depending on terrain and stuff, it might change some shit.
16.
16. I'm going to say that the terrain itself, this particular hutch is kind of in the middle of a dune, so it's in the dip. So sun is kind of beating down on one side, but on one of the walls there's a slight jutting of like a little bit of flat rock, making a bit of a shadowy area, just a very, very, very small patch of shadow, which you're sitting under.
And she has a bottle next to her side. This has been in her pack the whole time, but none of you have ever seen it, and she's drinking. Throwing back.
How far away is she from the structure that we're in?
I'm gonna say maybe 50 to 60 feet.
Okay. So I'm going to quickly take the dash action, which ups my speed to 60, and dash over to her.
Okay.
You got cat speed, rare.
You quickly dart forward.
I don't want to be in the sun for very long.
Yeah, you dart maybe about a few feet at most. Oh, and even still, with your fast speed, you can still feel the heat of the sand, as if it feels like it's almost
through my boots.
Oh, right. I'll say on your skin. I'll say on the skin at least. Sorry. I have an image of a cat in my head, so it's like cat people don't wear shoes. The whole thing.
I know very clear that he's mostly human.
I know. My brain went back to cat brain for a second. Okay.
And when she's not drinking, you guys can faintly hear very pretty sounding but sorrowful singing, because Estrella is a breed of harpy with sort of.
Oh, my folks are home. I'm gonna be right back.
And you can hear her half mumble, half singing, but it's still very pretty. One moonlight, stars been shining, distant planet, worlds around the April moons, feeling like a sadness, lost
Estrella?
without you.
Are you alright?
She doesn't seem to hear you. And have fallen to the sea. I'm not about you. I'm about
Estrella.
you.
He's gonna go and put a hand on her shoulder.
Jolt you back to your senses.
Her singing stops and she kind of looks at you, and she's
Be out here.
she's been crying. The moment she raises you, she's been crying.
What's wrong?
She looks at Abe and she says, I know I don't have any right to ask it of you, Abe, but could I speak with Michaeleen alone, please? And
What's the matter?
When he asks this, she's hesitant, and then she kind of tosses back a few more drinks. A lot. And the fact that I've been able to keep a lid on all of it is extremely... It's almost borderline insane. And now, I have an involuntary transformation because apparently I'm now considered a magical girl, and I've been keeping things. I'm almost.
Everyone is entitled to their own privacy. If you don't want to say anything, you don't need to be upset about it.
I know because I've been doing something that would be considered borderline treacherous, and
What could you have possibly done?
What happened, Edwin? I'm almost envious of you. At least you had a family. I'm in league with someone very important. And their bounty of trade is information about the whereabouts of people. They will sell these things to the highest bidder. And if my memory serves correctly, someone who pays for this information is the person you're hunting. And she kind of covers her hand with her eyes, and you can see her kind of digging her nails into the side of her forehead.
Michaeleen's going to wrap his arms around her and hold her head into his chest.
It's all right.
She tries to pull away. It's not all right. Don't say that. You have no right to say that to me. Especially after everything I've been doing.
What have you been doing?
Don't hold yourself back in your reaction. Just because I'm a woman, but I've been spying on you, on Abe, on Kain, on Eiko, on everyone in our party.
Spying for who?
And she says with air quotes, adopted father who runs the blackmailing mafia, as it were. Any and every information passes through his household and goes to the highest bidder. I have been doing this for ever since we started traveling together. They know everything, and I want to leave the family, as it were, but I can't. And I know many of their connections. And one of their connections has been the man you're hunting.
Michaeleen's going to stand up, turn his head away, clenching his fist, and kind of bottling up his anger, because hearing this, someone he trusted, someone who admittedly he didn't really tell much about his goals, couldn't really blame her for not telling him about this, but at the same time he does kind of feel betrayed.
He stands up. I told you not to hold back.
He turns and he walks back to the he's going to walk back to the adobe structure and just...
Estrella follows and and as they're going, she tries to stop them. I told you not to hold back. I know you're angry. Hit me. Take your anger out on me. Because it's my fault. I'm the one who's been doing it.
He's not even gonna speak to her. He's just looking forward and walking away.
And, she tries to incite a fight in him. So...
I will say this, as this is happening, a conversation was happening between Abe and Sorrow, but Sorrow kind of picks their head up and proceeds to walk out the door towards these two.
That's a natural 20 for physical.
Grapple check.
It's a nat 20 for grapple.
Wait, sorry, I had to leave for a minute, but I get the gist of what's going on. Where would Eiko be?
Doing a bit of a conversation. Sorrow will proceed to walk up towards Abe. And it's a neutral expression. Their mask is a neutral expression. They will proceed to walk towards Abe. Mask shifting as it has been to a bit of more of its true self, a very somber, sorrowful expression. You can almost feel it. It's almost palpable in the air. As you see its hand, two of its pale hands holding the mask it was wearing previously, offering it to you, Michaeleen. I understand your pain. This will help. Trust me.
What's the mask do again?
The mask has a very minuscule magic, but it's basically the spell Calm Emotions on it. But it's set to whatever expression the mask is carved, that emotion will be the one most bright. So it basically turns everything down to 0 while one saves remains max. Which the one with neutral is basically everything set down to 0. Or very low.
Okay, so
Here is your reminder. Brush your teeth.
I'll do that later.
Brush your teeth.
Do that later. I'm eating sweets, so no.
I actually got a new mouth guard in for sleep. I might need to make that right now.
20 though for grappling.
Anyways.
Who's she grappling?
She's trying to grapple you. She's trying to incite a fight in you.
Michaeleen's gonna push her away. So I do an opposed strength check then?
Yeah. D20 adds strength.
Okay.
Sis,
That's
what's your
18.
strength?
My strength is a 15 plus 2. Do you want me to roll against him?
Nah, I'll just say
18 plus 1.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. She proceeds to grab onto your arm, and you just shake it off.
Michaeleen sees the mask that he's offering.
Mm-hmm.
He takes it, tosses it to the side into the sand, and just walks back into the adobe structure.
He simply... Sorrow proceeds to walk over to the mask, pick it up, dust it off, and proceed to put it back on with his collection.
Michaeleen, what happened?
Michaeleen's gonna... He's not saying anything, but he's gonna go and sit by the fire and just stare into it.
Estrella does.
I'm gonna walk outside to check on Estrella.
Oh, she's followed in.
With Sorrow behind.
What happened?
She goes over to Abe, and she takes a few more drinks.
Estrella's holding a very expensive bottle of booze that looks very high-end from the upper cities.
It's half empty, but with a 17, she strikes Abe open-handed.
Fine.
Does 17 hit? Abe? Yeah. As you proceed to swipe towards Abe, he kind of like steps back and dodges it.
Estrella, what are you doing?
Abe, roll me a dex check to see if you catch it. Unnatural 20. So, you managed to like step back and catch it with your reflexes.
If Michaeleen won't do it, then why don't you? Why do you think I tried to hit you? I want you to hit me. I want you to hit me, and if you can kill me, the better.
What is going on?
Fine then. I am a member of a family. But it's not really a family. It's a Kain. They're blackmailers. Any and every information that is written or spoken of, one way or another, finds its way back into the house, into the house of Montague. And there are many people, powerful people, oftentimes corrupt, who pay good money for the information that comes through, including someone whom Michaeleen hates.
Kazis.
Abe, roll me a history check. Eiko, feel free to roll the history check as well.
Okay. Morgan, put my dice.
9.
Do I need a roll history check?
You know who she's talking about.
No, he knows who is buying the information. He knows exactly who's buying the information.
Alright, gang, it's time for everyone's favorite camera, the dice camera. Oh, that's a 17 plus 5.
Okay. Abe, I'm gonna say
18, 19, 21, 22.
does not sound. The name specifically doesn't ring any bells, but at most hearing that's an information family of basically a crime syndicate that gathers information does ring a bell about a different group, but you don't know if they're the same. At least. Eiko, on the other hand, you know these families rather well. You know that they are a crime syndicate or a family based centrally deep, like damn near the dam center of Mandex and all throughout. Which Mandex, everyone knows, is basically the nation of lying, cheating snakes.
Eiko's eyes widen and his brow just goes, what?
And at this, she... at your response, Abe, she smiles. A very broken, like, she's trying to keep herself together, but she's bordering on hysterics. She says, I've been spying on all of you ever since we started traveling together. And I've been feeding all this information back to my father. She speaks out with much sarcasm. Lord Halaric Montague, father of this family syndicate. Because that is my debt that I have to pay. Because he decided to take pity on me. I've been keeping this from you for so long.
Oh,
How are you not angry at me? How are none of you angry at me?
no. You're telling me that a whole bunch of thieving, lying crooks now knows what draws anger out of me? You're telling me you've told people my whole situation. My grandson?
And she looks at you, and she turns and she faces you. Her position ready for a fight. She's practically begging for it with tears on her cheeks. She says, I've told them everything. I was actually going to mention the part about you and your daughter in my latest report. I haven't had time to send it yet, though.
May I cast Hold Person?
Go for it.
Alright.
Above board, I had something completely different stuff. Just saying, this is completely left field. I had no idea this was coming down the fucking pipeline. I'm flat honest.
Someone wanted backstory, so I'm pretty backstory, and everyone has had backstory except fucking Estrella, so I am making all this shit up as I go.
Michaeleen's going to stand up from looking into the fire as Eiko casts.
I rolled an 18.
Hold. Okay, let me double check something real quick with hold person.
Alright. I have to hit the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, jeez.
It's okay.
Well, that just puts a damper on everything.
Yeah, to be honest, I was actually going to use Dark Arrow to give you a little bit of world building info and stuff. So, yeah, I completely got you in left field and stuff with.
I was under the impression that, for one, Kezes was going to be a right bastard, not even recall Michaeleen's name or who he was, or even Helveti's name, the man whose sword he now wields. It's like, I got this sword from some nameless, hairless ape. I don't know who he was. Killed his 4 sons as well. Half-breeds, all of them.
Yes.
Ayako's trying to keep his public image as a regal count. So now that it's out in the open that he has a weakness, being he hates his grandson, that's all about people know. They're gonna exploit that. Ayako can't have that.
Gotcha.
Can't have that.
Okay, so first off, Ayako, hold person, that's a save or suck spell. So basically, my sis will have to do a wisdom saving throw. If failed, then she'll become paralyzed.
Right.
By the way, just saying, if you'd like, I could say that Kezes heard rumors of such thing, but he is a wise, smart man to know not to put any stock into rumors. We can simply say one of his henchmen solemnly believes from the tales that he has woven. So we could just chalk it up to one of the henchmen might know about it.
I know that Michaeleen lives and is hunting him.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't believe it. We could leave it up to that if you'd like, or we could change it around.
Could change it around that just he doesn't care to learn about any half-breeds. Like,
yeah,
Michaeleen.
Yeah, which I do admit. Yeah, which I do have to admit, again, this kind of threw me left field a little bit. I was hoping like this whole backstory thing works, but it kind of only works if like one person takes the turn, maybe two, but it has to be planned out really nicely and not be as much as left hook as the whole thing. It's like she could have built this up a bit more.
She
like,
could have even talked to you about it.
Yeah, very sudden. I'm
completely-
gonna be right back. I'm gonna just take a minute or two. I need to heat up a mouth guard.
All right.
Yeah. Again,
Alrighty,
a
I'm
little
back.
bit left. Okay, sis, above board real quick. Okay, first off. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna say this. Amazing story. I love how it's going out. I'm really, really enjoying it. I only have two gripes. One is a missed opportunity, and one is just a DM at least. First off, missed opportunity. You could have built this up a little bit. It say that describe your character being like a little sus. Every now and then, like writing down papers, kind of noticing things a bit more, writing stuff down, drawing stuff down a lot, or something to kind of give the hint that there might be something up. So to kind of build the whole reveal a bit more.
She does it. She did her writing in secret, and
I know, but you again, when you pop this thing off, it caught me off by left field because I was planning on giving you guys a little bit of world building information about the other pits, but that's kind of out the window now since you kind of jumped this on me. But I'm saying, like I said before, I'm really enjoying how this is kind of panning out and things of that nature. So we're gonna keep going with the way it is at least. Again, as a DM, I just have to adapt on the fly.
yeah,
so
you do.
yeah. Proceed.
So
Well,
Eiko
Eiko was gonna do hold person on her.
Right, yes. Sis, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
that's a 2.
Yeah.
That's a 2.
2.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
a 2. She's not even fighting it. She's not even fighting it inside.
So
Her mind
if you
is
are not fighting it,
shambles.
then you deliberately fail and you are paralyzed now. Being held in place. So pause game at least. So
are we holding on for a moment till everyone gets back, or?
yeah. We're kind of pausing temporarily. And Nate, by the sounds of it, it sounds like you're in major pain right now.
Is he asleep?
Most likely.
So what do you guys think of my acting? What do you guys think of my acting?
Pretty good.
Not bad. I still kind of felt you could have built it up just a little bit. Yes, you write in secret, but you could have given like hints and signs that something might be up.
Well, you never gave me the chance to do so. So.
Well, you talk about it beforehand, out of character, like out of.
Yeah.
Like above board, in person. You're
You
literally
could have given me a heads up at this.
Yeah.
You could have given me a heads up and stuff. And it's like I've talked to all these guys multiple times before about their character and giving me suggestions and do a little owl game building. So next time, give me heads up on something like this.
Right.
I mean, I'm the guy who he bounces world building stuff off of because Michaeleen is the most well traveled in this world.
Yeah.
Aside from Eiko.
Yeah. So, yeah, Estrella is paralyzed. She's not fighting it, and
Michaeleen's going to get up from the fire, draw one of his 2 daggers, and walk over to her. He's going to grab her hand, and he's going to cut her palm.
This is the price of blood that I will take from you.
Wait.
She smells. That's not enough.
It is enough for me.
Hey,
Sorrow
more.
speaks up, and in a loud, commanding tone, speaks simple words that you all feel resonate within your chests. Be still and calm. All of your emotions have been calmed down to a neutral state. You are neither happy nor sad. And you could tell immediately by the spell, everyone who casts magic or understands magic by Santa, this was a power word. Words of creation itself spoken to you directly from Sorrow. way Sarah would have acted, but if you want, I could say it didn't happen if you'd like.
It was not coming to a resolution. I can tell you. It was what I.
But again, I can't say much more. Otherwise, I kind of spoil what the fuck they are. So. Yeah, so...
Okay, so Michaeleen cuts her palm and shows the bloody dagger.
This is the price of blood that I will take from you.
That's not enough.
It is enough for me.
Take more. You're entitled to more. And you know it. Or are you a coward, Michaeleen?
This is all I will take. You will no longer do this.
I can't just stop. I'm bound to that house. The only way I get out is if I'm dead and broken, because then I'm of no use to him.
Simple then. You're dead. We killed you right here, right now.
Do it. I'll burn in hell. I won't be able to see my parents again, but I don't even deserve that. After everything I've done. Go ahead. Break my wings.
What I meant to say is we staged the little girl's death. That's it. She's dead.
Yeah. They're going to know. They're going to know that I'm not dead if you just
They won't.
Yes, they will. You
You
don't.
listen to me now.
You don't know them like I do, Eiko.
They don't
They'll know.
know me. Do you know what I can be capable of?
I
No.
do.
None of you do. You don't know jack about what I can do. All you know is apparently enough about my family issues to understand and give that away to people, but you do not know what I can do.
I know what
I'm
you're
gonna say during
capable of.
that thing,
I
Eiko,
read your
sparks of
history.
lightning is popping out of his mouth as he's speaking like this.
Can I roll intimidation
Yes.
to get her up?
Yes, feel free to roll to attack.
That is. Hold on. Sorry, I should have. That is a natural 20. That is a natural 20
For intimidation.
for intimidation.
Sis, your character sees this, and you almost get the same. It almost feels like that Eiko is no longer standing in front of you, and there's a legit blue dragon staring you down with daggers in its eyes.
The King of Thunder is telling you that you do not know what he is truly capable of and the horrors he can unleash. You really don't know what he can do.
Okay, there.
And
What
she
did you get?
sneers back. I do know.
19.
I read
sis.
the history books. I've studied you.
That's what. I rolled a nat 20 on intimidation.
Supposed to shut up! No offense, sweetheart.
Sis, just saying, he is trying to piss out you right now. So it is difficult for you to speak. Again, we're trying to. Again, you're kind of losing your
Right.
image, but. Okay. Secondly, does a 19 hit your AC?
My armor class is 12.
Yeah,
I
that would
have
hit.
40 hit points. I can't scream because I'm in the office, but Estrella screams.
As he severs her hand, Michaeleen's gonna be a little pissed at Abe, and he might. I don't know if this is a good idea, but
Okay. Okay,
But
okay.
Michaeleen
Okay.
does not know what his plan
Can I
is,
do
so
something,
Michaeleen's
please?
going to throw a punch. Michaeleen's
Okay.
going to throw a punch at Abe's face. And
Okay, can the
depending on if
DM do something now?
Okay, what?
Okay. Can Sorrow be Sorrow for a moment and do something seeing this display? I'm asking permission since I got commented on last time when I shut down the
Okay,
whole
go ahead.
emotion to become. Okay then. Yes. Sorrow is going to see this and use powered calm on everyone here, ceasing all things, so everyone, all the tension is gone. And then he's like dumbfounded a little bit. But
I was
then
going
he's
to add in
then
Thunderclap into that punch.
Yeah, I'm actually.
Okay. Let me finish my thing.
Emotion, basically my heartbeat. She got one of her hands chopped off. It's a lot of emotional baggage and shit hitting the fan.
They're getting hand chopped
Okay.
off for a bad day.
Well, her
Okay,
day was
then.
already bad, considering that she's just confessed something that she's been doing.
Okay. So
Okay, guys,
She's been
can we
spying.
get back to it?
Sorry, my dad.
okay, so as you did, you see the mask on Sorrow's face is one of sheer rage and being pissed.
So I never pegged you as a llama in hats type of
Something
person.
of that nature.
Hear
Something
you
of
like
that
this.
nature, yes. You mortals need to learn to control your emotions. You let them fly off on any whim you see fit. Control yourselves. All of you are better than this. Yes. If you do something wrong, admit it and move forward. There's no need to drag forward or draw penance down on yourself. If you want penance, work for it. Get through it. Oh, wait. As he proceeds to low-key give each one of you a bit of a chew out for what it is. Now.
All I could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
They're going to know. They're going to know I'm not alive. You don't know these people like I do. They have eyes and ears practically everywhere, and they have had their eyes upon me ever since I started traveling with you and spying on you. I can't escape them unless I'm dead.
Sorrow is going to walk in front of you, Estrella. They're going to say a word of arcane. And when they say that, you get everyone with magic in their bodies get this wave-like sensation of magic itself for a brief moment. As you see one of their
two pulses with energy from this.
As one of their pale hands goes over to your bloody stump, and they simply say, "What is lost be renewed." As a new hand proceeds to immediately form on the stump. New as well. And they proceed to put all four of their hands on your shoulders, looking at you with a mask of sorrow and compassion. Ashen, you are chained to no one. Take this chance and use it wisely. As they proceed to say, "May your chains be broken." And around Estrella's neck forms a magical iron collar that was invisible this entire time, with a long length of chain and wrapping around her several feet and proceeding out the door. All of a sudden, that collar proceeds to snap into two pieces, falling to the ground, the chain disconnecting and dissolving into the air. The spells that have bound you to that have been broken. Do not take this lightly.
They're going to know.
Use this opportunity wisely.
They're going to know this. They're going to come after you. Aren't you terrified? What? You don't eat? You seem to have only one emotion on your face? What are you if you aren't terrified of death? So when they find out that it was you who undid the spell on me, they're going to hunt you down and they're going to kill you.
Death, I do not fear. Yeah. As they will proceed to pull down their hood, revealing a pale gray head, smooth, as the mask they are wearing proceeds to get, as they remove it with one of their hands, revealing what looks like to be a humanoid-like face with very, very soft features. So they have like...
It looks like that.
No, it does not.
It looks like an ooh-woo face.
It has a slight... Like, they have all the parts to make a human face, but all of them are very, very, very soft. As if, not like a fully defined mouth, eyes, or nose, but you can see a rough humanoid shape.
Looks like this.
Oh, har. Anyway.
Seeing this, Estrella says, what are you?
I am an Asphalt, a being of pure emotion. Death does not fear me, and I do not fear it. And if your family does think to trifle with me, they will know better. For my people are messengers. We bring news, and letters from around. They will not trifle with an Asphalt, I can guarantee you that much.
My family delivers messages too. I was one of their messengers.
But
what
you
is
are
it?
no longer.
I take it that the chain around her neck, if she did die, would shatter by itself. So the act of shattering it now kind of makes them think that she's dead.
Yes. Above board. Yes.
Could
Delicious.
Could using that severed hand that is now no longer severed because a new one grew, could he grow a new Estrella, just a dead corpse Estrella, and leave it here in the desert? That's an idea.
That is an idea.
That's a really good idea.
To put simply, at least, I will say this. For the spellcasters, particularly Eiko, and I'm going to say Michaeleen a little bit, you would have heard stories, might have seen a demonstration here and there, but Eiko definitely studying it, going to magic college, basically, wizard college. First off, him using basically the power word, basically he's using power words, basically the language of creation. This is a very powerful and dangerous form of magic.
I can learn one power word when I get a 9th level spell.
Yes. So
I want Eiko to learn one and just say, fall.
No, I'm not even joking. Okay, Sorrow could do that and it would happen.
I know. He could be the little. No, just fall.
Fall.
So, what does the party wish to do?
Well, Michaeleen's already cut her palm and gotten his blood payment, so he's gonna go back and sit by the fire. Maybe one of you could, I don't know, make the suggestion of creating a body double, just a corpse that's identical to Estrella in every way from the severed hand.
Eiko could probably suggest that. He's been to wizard college.
Well, again, always.
Yeah. Blinded. You know what we could do with this? He picks up the severed hand.
By the middle finger, so it's just like...
Yeah. Yeah. With this, we could make a dead Estrella. We could make her from this hand would not be a live her, it would be a dead husk. It's fairly complicated. I don't know if I could be the one to do it, but theoretically it's possible.
Sorrow is going to turn their head, and as they turn, they will proceed to raise their and proceed to put a mask back to a neutral expression. I can do that. It is but a simple task.
You are quite powerful, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I'd like to see you again.
And I believe we will in a later date.
As would I.
But to put one thing to say is the lesson, basically he was telling Estrella and stuff that she basically has to learn to let go of her grief to build anew, to not waste the new opportunity. But in a sense, the entire party gets a similar sense that Sorrow was not just talking to Estrella, it was talking to everyone. Any grief, any misattributes, all the baggage you have, let it go. It does not weigh you. There's no need to carry your own chains.
No, I'm still gonna carry those chains because I'm a very petty supervillain.
Well, no. It wasn't. They weren't outright saying drop it, but you could get a sense that it was not just directed at her, but at the entire party.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
I'll say you didn't do that. No. So.
Alright.
I could produce a fake Ati, so it could be brought back and known that she is dead.
I'm going to hit the
Exactly.
register really quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. They basically ask, would you like me to deliver it to them?
Yes. But to make it a little more convincing, let me into the corpse. Let me do it.
Michaeleen's going to speak up.
Would it not be better to leave it here, so that when they follow the trail of the broken magic, to find the corpse here?
By the time they were to get here, there would be nothing more than bones. Bringing a dead body and laying it before the footsteps would make it to where they would not seek out such things. Said groups tend to leave dead ends where dead ends lay.
Very well. If that is what you wish to do, that is what you wish to do.
As Sorrow will proceed to stretch out their elongated pale hand above the severed hand, and simply say the word, or speak the word of magic once again, and you get that similar magical pulse throughout. Once again, as you see what looks like to be gray light falling from their hand onto the severed one, as you can see the fibers, the muscles, the bone proceeds to grow outward from the severed hand. Starting off, the bone growing the fastest, muscle being the next, and the skin coming after. As soon, there's perfectly one copy of Estrella's body.
Only no life or soul in it.
Yes.
We stole her clothes. I guess that would be the explanation.
And then after such things, Sorrow proceed to utter one word. And then, okay. So Sorrow has made a perfect copy of it and has offered to deliver said dead body to the people to leave it as is. And they utter a word after creating this perfect copy, and the sheer uttering of it, regardless of how strong your mind is, regardless and stuff, you get a guttural urge of fear and terror when they utter this word. Red. As you see this once perfect one-to-one body of hers proceed to cuts, tears, snapping of bone proceed all over the body. Blood is scattered throughout. Out. In one swift motion in mere seconds. Again, this once pristine body is marred, bruised, broken. Okay.
Estrella watched the whole thing.
Like a 1-to-1 of her.
Punishment enough. That's
and then Sorrow will utter.
Well, there was no life in this body. There was no soul. Nothing.
Sorrow will proceed to say a few more words. A white cloth will appear out of nowhere, wrapping it around the dead body, with twine sealing it off. As they will proceed to pick the body up themselves and put it onto their back to carry it.
Death Stranding style.
And considering that she is coping with the fact that she has been freed from her shackles and everything, and she's still holding on to that guilt, watching herself die was cathartic.
Well, not die, but
it close enough. Yep, it was cathartic.
As
Eiko leans towards her.
Sorrow will make one last, basically take a knee to look at Estrella in the face. And the mask they're wearing is one of, happy sad, if that makes sense. So it's happy, but you can tell that...
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet, yes. Yes.
Sort of like this expression.
Yeah. As they will simply say, feel happy. You are new. I can't find the right words, but basically they say,
feel happy. For you are free.
Something along that lines. Something along those lines. As they will proceed to their campsite, will kind of fold itself up and hop onto their back as they proceed to walk out the door and...
Wait, it folds itself up and hops onto his back by itself?
Magic style, put simply.
Wizard Merlin from Sword in the Stone style. Hickety-pockety-walkety-whack. Habra-habra-habra hack. Higgery-smiggery-higgery-row! Prestidigitorio!
I wish that was a movie.
Whoa! Now you be gentle there, sugar. That old teapot's not got many... I don't fucking remember the line.
It's cracked it up already!
Now, where was I?
Anyways!
Hockety-pockety.
Ah, yes. Hockety-pockety-walkety-whack. Habra-habra-hack. Shrink in size, very small. Have to make room for all. Alright, that's enough.
Yes.
As they will proceed to disappear, I will say the following night is it's a difficult night to sleep.
You mean difficult day to sleep? We're sleeping through the day.
You guys sleep at least and proceed to start traveling once again. Okay, above board, I really want to continue the whole survival element, but we've burned so much time on it, and I just want you guys to get to the city already. So,
we'll do one more night of survival and then time skip.
Sure. Okay, so...
Yeah.
Okay, I will have someone roll me, someone roll me a d6.
Can I do it?
Got it.
Sure.
I'm a
3.
4.
Okay.
One more than you. I'm better. Not really.
Okay, then I'll use...
Eat my ass, you bastard.
Okay. Okay, during the travel, I will say this. While you guys are traveling out, a sandstorm does kick up, making movement difficult, but it's at night. So it's not as bad. So everyone's movement
Has
is
Lucy had enough time to sleep and rest?
Yeah, she has sleep to rest, and she is doing her best to carry at least. But right now, she's kind of walking ahead of you guys, while you guys are kind of walking behind her, using her as like a sand shield, which for her,
Windbreak, which
Yeah,
is completely
windbreak.
fine because she's got that second set of eyelids.
yeah. Plus she's actually kind of having to like dig down a little bit and stuff. She's kind of walking a bit lower to the ground, a bit slower, almost kind of like belly crawling, almost just to keep low enough so she doesn't get flipped over. At least, anyways, and for 3 at least. Okay, let's see what the fuck it is. Good. So it would be. Okay. Okay. Matt, since you rolled me a 3, I want you to roll me percentile.
Percentile. Okay. Let's turn on the magical rolling camera. Wow. Oh.
You need 2d10.
Oh, that's
You need
right.
both your
He said
funky looking dice.
percentile. Oh, it hit it.
It's okay. So what is it?
52.
52. Okay then.
I got an 83.
Well, you're not Matt, so eat a bag of dicks.
No. No. Stop it, Matt.
I will eat my bag of nerds.
And
Eat a
you'll
bag of
soon-
nerds.
And depending on when you come to see me, you'll soon be eating gingerbread bats or chocolate chip cookies.
Sis, shut up, please. I'm sorry, but you are starting to get on my nerves a bit. I am being frank.
What are you doing?
Math rocks. Literal math rocks now because these are literal rocks.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay, due to the creature being not thematic for the area, I'm just gonna say nothing happens then.
Hooray!
But
Can I
simply-
do a quick survival check and see if there's any worm sign?
Sure.
13 plus my survival, which is plus 4. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
17. You see no worm sign at all. Period.
Okay, so we're good in that sense.
Are we?
So, you guys proceed to slowly travel and start making it through. As you guys crest the next hill, the sandstorm. Okay. This time, Matt, roll me. Someone roll me a d6. Call it first.
I got it.
I got it. Ah.
Okay, Matt. Oh, okay. Sis got it.
Sis got it first.
That's a 5.
Okay then.
She's
the
better than you, Viking.
Anyway, the sandstorm proceeds to break, and the temperature proceeds to start plummeting afterwards. So it goes from cool to freezing.
Has the sandstorm stopped?
Yes, the sandstorm broke, and then the temperature dropped.
Lucy, shrink down for me.
Does anybody have wood? I can make a fire.
She proceeds to shrink down and immediately, like you feel her claws kind of dig into your skin a little bit as she proceeds to crawl up your leg and get into your shirt.
And he's just gonna wrap his arms around her.
Yeah, as you proceed to feel all 6 of her limbs kind of like bear hugging your middle section.
Easy with the clothes, sweetheart.
she's doing the whole gecko thing and stuff. So the claws are not touching, but she's like just the sheer like
Her
paw
feet are
pads.
clinging. Her paw pads are sticking to you.
Can I look for a tumbleweed or something?
Sure.
And Estrella,
Investigation.
Yes,
Sure.
and make sure to show us the roll.
Estrella
Oh, okay.
preens off some of her feathers and what shed feathers she
Well, I
has.
forgot to show the roll, but I'll roll again. There goes a 16.
Because you got a shitty roll.
No, it was a 16 actually. That was really damn good.
Ah.
Well, now I got a shitty roll. 7 plus 5, so that would be 12.
You don't see hardly any foliage, maybe a singular blade of dead grass, but that's about it.
Shit, is there like any wood? Does anybody have wood?
And at this, Estrella kind of
In my survival pack, does it have a torch in it?
Estrella gently pokes Ayako's shoulder a few
Do
times.
not touch me.
She holds out
As
Oh, I love
sizable-
those things.
Floroflux. Anyway.
She holds
Okay,
out.
can all y'all pay attention, please?
Yeah.
You
Just-
have to.
As Ayako said, do not touch me.
Go for it, sis.
So, when he turns to face her, she offers him a decent-sized amount of feathers that she's preened from her wings.
Have
She doesn't have any ball.
Have you ever smelt burning feathers? It's like burning hair.
It's all we got. Abe, give me wood.
It'll be good, Tinder. Fire bricks. Okay.
Yeah, Ayako sets them down.
Torch.
Ayako's going to use his lightning breath. Now, the wood needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
It fails
roll.
You could light it up with prestidigitation, you know.
or firebolt, but it proceeds to fail. Okay. Fuck it. Okay. Odd or even, Eiko. Odd or fucking even. So, okay. I'm going to say, when Eiko hits the wood with its breath, the water content in the wood boils and it fucking explodes. Okay, how close is everyone onto the wood? 10-foot radius.
Were
so
we
20
walking in a line or something?
You're walking behind group. So, fuck it. Everyone is gonna have to make dexterity checks. DC 15.
Oh, Jesus.
15 dex checks. Or take shrapnel damage.
Oh boy.
Here's the thing.
That's
I
a
don't
fucking
have
natural
fire.
one. I'm
it.
going to use one of the 3 luck points that you gave me on account of, Michaeleen's lucky dice no longer being allowed. So I'm going to re-roll that 1.
That's a natural 20 on
That's a
Estrella's
19. That's a 19.
That is
plus my dexterity, which is plus 3. 19, 20, 21, 22.
I rolled a 13, so I rolled a 10 plus 3. That's 13.
I now have
Uh-oh.
only 2 luck points left.
Okay.
I got 13 total.
13 total. Okay, sis, what did you get?
That was a nat 20.
Not 20. Okay. So, Eiko, you kind of getting catched off guard by this ends up getting a face full of wood shrapnel. in your face.
I'd like to imagine he's just standing there, just with the blankest expression, just the most normal stance possible, as all this wood just hits him right in the fucking face.
How much damage does he take?
Oh my god.
About 8 points. 8 points of shrapnel damage.
8 points of damage?
And a couple in his eyes, and when he blinks, it goes out of his eyeballs.
Oh boy.
No.
Eiko is now at 13 health. He's not looking too good.
Someone please heal this old man.
Not this.
Shouldn't he have healed? Because that's technically counts as a long rest. When we rested through the day to get to night.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that would count for a long rest.
Wordlessly, Estrella goes up and she casts the spell of Cure Wounds.
I mean, Michaeleen himself has 53.
Estrella, again, she casts Cure Wounds.
Eiko has, well, the sheet is printed, but so it says 30 just printed on there, but I had to write 36 because he is level 5 and not level 4. So right now, so if you got back to 36 minus 8, would that be 28? Yeah.
Can we also say that he has temporary hits points from the meal he ate?
9.
9 temp hit points.
No! 9 as in no!
Oh.
Eiko's just like...
How about this?
He's just like... Come on, go back to my face. He's just like... Ow.
Just pauses like... Ow.
No, it's not even like that whiny. It's just, ow.
Tink, 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 tink.
Michaeleen.
I will say this. There is a very small fire going, which is just singeing the feathers.
Quick, throw some wood in there. Throw some wood in there, Abe.
Michaeleen's going to grab one of the pieces of wood and just cast prestidigitation on it to make a small flame on it.
Is it one of the pieces of wood out of Eiko's face?
How big of a piece of wood was in his face?
It was a ply bar!
Something like that. Again, large and small splinters.
He looks like he had a cat.
Like he's a unicorn.
And then when you like pull it out, there's just like a stream of blood just going. And he just falls.
Okay. Let's get back on track.
Estrella quietly casts Cure Wounds on Eiko to make sure he's all splinter free.
They shall fall out. Ow.
When she...
You toss onto the small fire, proceeds to build up rather quickly, and now it's starting to let off warmth. Alleviate.
Oh, I could have done that. I can do green flame blade. Duh. Silly me.
Oh my
god.
What's green?
So, I've studied this. I've studied the word Greek before. I've read a lot of books. Now, Greek is a style.
Don't tell me that Eiko's he's an expert on Greek.
A culinary dish called pizza. there was a style of it called Greek style.
Don't tell me that Eiko's an expert on Greece while his grandson is an expert on just Florida.
No, the only thing Eiko knows Greek for is Greek style pizza. That's it.
Okay, can we proceed forward? Can we proceed forward? We're getting close. It's getting fucking late. I want to.
We need to get to Arachnica.
Yes. You guys proceed. This is what I'm gonna do. You guys proceed to warm up for the next few hours. The temperature does seem to get back to a stable temp after a few hours, after this little bit of a cold dip. And you guys are hike up the edge of a dune, and you see over the edge and stuff in the distance, about maybe 10 miles away. So fairly light dune, but you see what looks like to be this massive stone rock that's kind of curved around and stuff, but you can see what looks like to be lush greenery kind of growing off like the top edges of it. You can see little bits of what looks like to be maybe a bit of a oasis on like the other sides of it on this large rock. And if you look really, really hard, you can actually see on the barest outside and stuff little buildings here and there. Yes?
Do we see going towards it, barreling towards Arachnica, like this plume of dust, that being the caravan?
As you guys are looking down, you hear a very soft rumbling behind you. You look behind you, and you see a massive cloud of sand traveling. It looks exactly almost like a worm above ground, but it looks like that, but it's not. As you see it and stuff, you can see the legs and stuff actually, instead of just doing the normal lifting up, moving forward, they're outright stretched out forward as it's almost like max speed as fast as it can physically go because it's excited.
Wait, this is the actual Arachnica?
Yeah, this is the Arachnica. So instead of
it's not the caravan?
No. This is the Arachnica caravan. So it's the centipede.
Ah.
Yeah. So
I was talking about the actual caravan, our caravan, the basically car. I was thinking like a big plume of like headed towards the city, like down in like it took a different route than us, obviously.
Oh no, I have something planned.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, but basically no.
Probably.
No, but put simply, the way the Arachnica was walking before us, they would basically just raise one leg up, move it forward, and but it's actually outstretching its leg when it's moved forward, hitting the ground. So you can, yeah, this thing's genuinely moving a lot of fucking dirt behind it, creating massive plumes of sand and dust in the air. I just see Arachnica.
Question, is the Arachnica bigger than the sandworms, and does the Arachnica eat the sandworm?
You would have to ask. But put it this way. I'll say this much. Depending on the sandworm, the Arachnica caravan is equal size to maybe some of the greater sandworms.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I will say this. The sand all the way around Arachnica, from what you can see and stuff, has like zero sign of worm sign, along with like it has not been disturbed by worms at all.
Mm-hmm.
To some degree, yes.
They're attracted by vibration, but too much vibration, and it's like, oh, that's an Arachnica.
Yeah.
Also, Arachnica, Arrakis, really.
It's a really fucking big choo-choo train.
Honestly, I borrowed the name Arachnica, I think from Critical Role somewhere. I think I might have heard it, but if not, I just pulled it out my ass.
In defense, Arrakis has been around in science fiction for ages. It's hard to find something that's different.
Just saying, there's a little bit. Just saying, at this point, there's a little bit of Dune in everything. At this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Putting blood of the enemies on the warriors' foreheads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please do.
Okay.
Note to your future self, keep it in.
Note to yourself, disregard what says.
Note to future self, he's mad at Big Bull.
Leave some of those strawberry Cayman Jacks for me.
Okay. You guys proceed in a matter of hours. Finish your traveling to the. Manage to make it to Arathnica, which you make it to the rock wall and proceed to walk around the other side. As you crest the edge, you see a massive, dirt, trench in the sand. I'm gonna say spanning maybe an easy, 100 feet, and about 80 feet deep. At least spanning around this massive city in the middle. And this entire. Okay, so I presume you're doing the world map?
Yes.
Okay.
Quite beautiful.
Okay, so zoom in a little bit.
I'm zoomed in as much as I can.
Okay. So basically there is a... here, I actually can show my screen.
Side note, I am much happier with how we are doing Eiko for this episode.
Yes.
Yeah. We gave him a chance.
Now please stop asking Michaeleen to eat the bug.
Eat the beetle.
Oh, Michaeleen's going to give the beetle to Abe for him to tinker on so that he can get rid of the curse.
Abe, tell him that you did everything to remove the curse, but do nothing to the beetle.
Do you want Michaeleen to kick your ass?
No, I want Michaeleen to eat the beetle.
If Michaeleen eats the beetle and the curse is not removed, he's gonna kick your ass first.
I don't think he'll be able to do that.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen.
You'd be surprised at the amount of gear that I have that can help Michaeleen take down, magic users and other.
Well, I have news for him.
Okay. All y'all. Thank you.
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
You haven't killed Michaeleen.
So then, to put simply, when
You
you
haven't
guys are
killed
coming from this side, there is a massive stone, mountain cave rock in this area that's basically covering most of the stuff in here.
It's surrounding the oases as well.
Yeah, I'm surrounding the oasis. The oasis on the outside of that 100-foot spanning trench, and on the outskirts, on the sides of the rock. So you guys can see the oasis when you were walking by it. But as you walked around, at least until getting to the buildings, near the buildings, you see this massive trench. And in the center is a fairly large city, which has been very well developed. Lots of adobe structures, but also some of them have been refined with little bits of wood and stone from other places and location. During of which, you guys hear a massive amount of a cacophony noise. Various cheers, songs, lots of noise. It is giving off the note of this is a party time. As you see various things from basically dust fireworks, which basically, yes.
Where's the fat guy in the toga?
Dionysus.
Anyways, so as you see dust fireworks, basically you see bouts of trailing dust shoot into the air and then explode with color. As various things are popping around, at least as you hear various chants and things of that nature of joyous noise, always echoing off the rock face and around.
Michaeleen, you wouldn't happen to still have that cot in your offering earlier, would you?
Yes, here you go.
Eiko stuffs it in his ears. He doesn't want to hear the loudness.
as you guys are getting closer, at least, you see the Arachnica in all of her in all of her magnificent splendor.
Question: Does
Yes?
her is her carapace like her like exoskeleton? Is it like opalescent that shines and shimmers in the sunlight like opal?
Well, right now it's it's very shades of like browns and stuff due to being covered with dirt and things of that nature. But you see her basically crawling around. She ends up coming around basically behind you guys, doing a big loop, and then proceeding to enter this trench and walk all the way around it, wrapping her entire body around the city. And basically ending up where basically she forms a perfect circle with basically her front and backside facing each other. Towards the front end of the city, basically becoming the front gate of the city. Yeah, the Ouroboros would be a good way to describe it.
Ouroboros?
In this time of day, entirely localized within your kitchen.
Yes.
Oh.
May I see it?
No.
Anyways, as you see this and stuff, and people are walking through the city gates of things, and you can see once she kind of wraps herself around, a massive settling happens of dust, and the locals, both inside and out, inside the city and stuff, as you guys are walking in the front gates, you can, again, the joyous noise and stuff is being heard, both in the city itself and on Arachnica herself, of the small town. As you see, basically boards and gangplanks being getting let out and bridges connected to the Arachnica. At least as you see people coming on and off and things of that nature. Yes? See what?
No.
In scale with the Arachnica, I don't think that it's that big. How big? Because I don't think it's as big as the Arachnica.
What? We think...
Would it be like around the same size as one of its leg segments? A little bigger than one of its leg segments?
Well, these leg segments and stuff, if you consider them being a tree, take maybe about 4 and change like redwoods and stuff, cut down in diameter, like the size of one of those. Take 4 of those, slop them together. That would be the rough diameter of one leg segment, and that's at a thinner point. Okay.
And one blacksmith built that in 6 months?
Okay, I will say this. As you see stuff getting unloaded, I will say this, the first thing you notice is you actually see the caravan being unloaded. Your guys' caravan. And as you will see Ben's kind of sitting, pokes his head out the top, up, notices you, and just starts waiting.
How far away from the city are we?
You guys are in the city. You guys are literally standing in the gates. Yeah.
Beans?
Where have you been?
Okay, roll intimidation check. Roll intimidation check.
Is he trying to intimidate Bins?
Bins? Oh,
This is natural.
But is he trying to intimidate Bins is the question.
No. This is a natural intimidation. So just beautiful present. Yeah. Bins will see that, proceed to think that you are pissed, and going to immediately dart down, shutting the hatch. Nodos proceed going to open like one of the front doors and stuff, and just walk out, just waiting for you to, and stand next to it while he waits for you to come by, at least. And I will say this: the rest of the part, I am describing one thing. both inside and out, on both sides of the Ravnica, people are getting next to her with buckets of water and actually are cleaning off her scales and stuff as like one of the first big things that they do.
They reveal the opalescent splendor of her carapace.
Her
Can you say splendor again?
Splendor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say this. Her chitinous armor is a bit of a deep umber color. Like a reddish, very deepish reddish, very deep red color. With a bit
Like
of with a very beautiful shine to it.
Like my grandson. Like my grandson.
More of a deeper red. Anyway, but either way, it's still rather beautiful, her scales.
Something like that red?
Touch darker, almost to black, depending on the lighting.
Like my
It's
grandson.
like a deep crimson, almost. Like ruby.
So like that?
Yeah, something more akin to that. These. But not non-transparent. Anyway, so we get the idea.
No, I'm not reaching for anything else.
Okay. So then, as stuff is getting unloaded, blacksmith name, you remembered it better than I did.
Azo Tonka.
Thank you. Anyway, so okay.
The sound of metal hitting metal like clang.
The caravan's gonna slightly rock to one side, but then flop back down.
How much does Abe weigh, by the way?
Close to a ton.
Jesus.
Close to a ton. Anyway.
He weighs 2 me's.
Well, put simply, with your later forms, you will end up weighing a ton.
And after Michaeleen fed him, he gained about a pound. Or about a couple tons. Man, Michaeleen's been feeding him really well.
Okay, just saying, but that's due to 3 reasons. A, him gaining organics, metal body, and new systems and stuff. So it's a mixture of multiple things.
Have you ever seen Bicentennial Man? His organs. Michaeleen has a few ways.
Anyways, so as you are hugging your caravan, Abe, you hear a very familiar voice you remember from the caravan. As you hear Izo's voice. Azo's voice was, "Oh, Abe, good to see you again, me lad." And as you hear his, strength check. He's a big
do an opposing strength check, like they're both trying to hug each other and lift each other up.
Okay.
If they match, they just start floating.
Okay, I have to get Fire Giant out real quick then. So I know what the fuck I'm working with here.
I need to go grab some water. Hold on.
I'm just really happy with this session.
The insanity, the drama, the comedy.
Yeah. They have +7.
The character.
Okay, so what did you get for your strength? 21, so I have to beat 21. He matches. You guys match.
You levitate. You guys levitate. You lift each other up simultaneously.
Okay, so he sees you coming charge. He takes a solid stance and stuff as he kind of braces himself. You proceed to hit him square in the chest. He lurches back lightly, but then catches and matches your strength into.
Just a.
Question: Is
Two
it
very
still
big
cold?
men.
Is it still cold?
No, it's daytime.
No, the cold spell broke.
All right.
It's starting to heat up now.
All right.
Yeah, but with the, I will say this: the temperature for this area, with the mixture of the water and the rock, the temperature is actually rather nice. It is warm, but it's a comfortable warmth.
So is Lucy out? And does she have a saddle pouch?
Lucy is on Michaeleen's back right now.
On the
Okay.
outside now, due to it not being freezing balls out now. Okay, sorry. My little bag's kind of killing me right now, so I'm currently tossing a cushion behind it to.
So how's this going on?
Oh, she's coming along nicely, lad. I did the best I could on this change. She's just gonna, again, she's nearly done. She just needs a few more touches that, unfortunately, the forge I had on the caravan and can't provide. But don't worry. You'll be able to see my actual workshop here pretty soon. I picked it up myself. But she's nearly done.
This
Yeah.
first time Michaeleen's been to Arathnica proper.
Yeah, Arathnica proper. The stories that you read and heard about it, this matches it and then some.
Volviti has been here before, though.
Yes, so Vita has been here. And to put
Do I have three here?
Okay. Above board at least. Michaeleen, you have to ask about him being here. You have to ask about it at a later date.
Right.
Have
In personal DM, like in chat or here? Like in game? Michaeleen has to ask, or?
In game, I highly recommend you ask about it.
I think Volviti would have told stories about his early days as an adventurer and monster
Yes.
hunter before
Yes.
adopting.
would Eiko have any knowledge, or has he been here?
Do you travel a lot?
I'd say I am a man of the world, and I have been to various places to add to things to my collection within my library.
Okay then.
Like
I
trinkets.
would say maybe you would have stopped by Arathnica once or twice, but it was during the times when the caravan was not there.
Should I roll or anything for history?
I'm kind of just letting knowledge be kind of surface level at the moment as I'm describing things. But, so, Izo seeing the rest of the party at least. But my dear friend Abe, there are a few things to do before then. One of these. I'll take you to my shop after the main thing, but right now, I actually have to be quick about this because I have to get to the ceremony.
Volviti used to tell me stories of this place.
Volviti? Oh, I remember Volviti. He was a very good man, he's actually a citizen, was a citizen of Arathnica.
For a time, he told me.
Would they know that Volviti has passed? He should ask how Volviti's doing.
Yeah, sure. He proceeds to ask, so... actually, he's first gonna ask, you know of Volviti?
He was the man I called father.
He proceeds to walk up to you and stuff and just place one of his large fire giant hands on your shoulder and give you like a heavy pat, at least. Roll me a strength check real quick.
Oh boy. And I have a +1 to strength. I'm not strong, but I am a capable man.
Yeah.
17 plus 1. That's a 17. So that's an 18.
Okay. I will say when it hits, your arm, your side of the body, gets like physically pushed down when he pats.
So like, pop.
More like hand on shoulder for a second, which weighs it down, then he lifts up, and then like a little time. It doesn't knock you over because he's deliberately being gentle and stuff, but eating still. It's weight.
Does he ask how he is?
Yeah. So how is your old fart? How is your old man, anyways?
And my brother. No longer with us.
His joyous thing softens, and he... Oh, I see. My apologies. Thank you for bringing this to me. There's a place I would like to show you, regardless. All of you, come with me. By the way, hey, he stretches his arms on himself up and says, "Welcome to Arathnica." As he proceeds to lead all of you down to the town center.
You're gonna need to walk a little slow so I can catch up.
At that, I'm gonna just dictate what Lucy's gonna do. Lucy's gonna go over to crawl off of my back, crawl between the legs of Eiko, and go.
Boy.
All of a sudden, Eiko, Lucy is underneath you.
This is weird.
And she's carrying you. Anyways, so as you guys proceed to walk, you guys walk to the town center, and you see the various buildings and the joys and calm. You can see everyone is happy. You can see family members hugging and rejoicing that people are back, that the caravan is back, at least. And people are moving towards the town center. As you see the town center has these stone walls and pillars, more like stone slabs and stuff, like memorial slabs, all throughout. And each one of them has these little golden tokens all throughout. Out at least. And one of them has a bunch of new things. And you see a very well-dressed...
Tiefling?
Sure, I'll go with Tiefling. Very well-dressed as Tiefling standing in front, kind of acting as... everyone gets to feel that they are a authoritative figure, and he's rather well dressed as he's like welcoming people and stuff, and kind of giving the same healthy praise. His physique is fairly well built, touch round in the stomach at least.
What's his name? Jerix.
Daryl.
Colin.
Ape.
Sam!
Collar.
No.
His name's Karan.
Karan.
Yes. His skin tone is a very... I'm going to say a bit of like almost a pale blue color. In nature, he has two very simple markings underneath each one of his touch pale, like a sand blue. Pale sand blue. He's going to have two little markings underneath each one of his eyes, and he's going to have very bright red hair and a mustache and stuff of the same color. Welcome to Ravnica. And yes, I'm stealing him from Voltron on Legendary Defenders from Netflix. I do not care. But very same energy, same kind of general voice.
I'd like to roll a perception check. I want to find a place that specializes in giving potions that permanently alter appearance.
I will say for right now, at least, due to the commotion, everything as you look around, the sound of the celebration, the commotion, and people moving around constantly, it's a little difficult to get a clear view, at least. So you proceed. You make the conclusion. We'll have to wait until it kind of calms down a little bit, because right now it's like everyone's frothing almost with excitement and happiness.
This is a pretty big city, right?
Yeah.
That means that they would have quite the expansive library and stuff, right?
They would have it and stuff, and again, I will get.
Perhaps have spell scrolls.
Okay, I already know how this is gonna work. The Woolbury Shop next session. The idea is mission of some kind, a little bit of a side mission, and then shopping, or most likely just a straight fucking shopping episode. So you guys will be able to shop and window things. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'll focus first.
Okay.
So Zen with Zen. He is greeting everyone, and basically everyone proceeds to calm down. The blacksmith. Azo, thank you. Azo proceeds to kind of lead you to basically some seating that they have, and they're kind of getting ready for this big assembly around the town hall, which there's a podium that's been set up and a little bit of a raised platform. As you see a massive chair kind of sat off to the side, at least, and Azo sets the party up with a few front row seats. Actually, so there are basically rows upon rows of seats along with just natural floor level with people sitting both on the ground and on the chairs. At least. And the raised platform. Azo steps on the platform and says, okay, you guys, I basically lead you into the center with a bunch of other people that are there. So the entire party, along with a bunch of other people, are standing in the center with basically the residency standing around you guys. As by the way, Azo kind of tells you the name of the mayor, at least, or one of the head council members.
Kenya is what you said his name was?
No, Karan.
Karan.
Yes. Anyway, he steps on the podium using thaumaturgy to speak much more loudly, at least. No, he uses his staff of thaumaturgy, which looks like a microphone.
You mean a megaphone?
Yeah. Anyway, as he speaks out and stuff, everyone proceeds to calm down, and it goes from joyous rant to very low murmurs and stuff, where it happy murmurs. So it's still really, really happy, but just the volume turned down.
Question.
Yes?
Is there any remnants of old world tech, like maybe a radio tower here and there?
There's a washing machine.
Okay. As you guys were looking around, I will say, if you looked around a bit, you might have seen what looked like maybe an old building here and there. Maybe some old bits and bobs of things in nature. This is a thriving city, to put simply.
But is there a radio tower?
You would have to look more around. But right now, big assembly. So, Karan, anyway, I'm going to do a simplified version. Karan gives a speech. He's saying, and it is very great to have the Arathnica and the home again. And they are very happy for the safe journey that she had along with her people, that she kept safe. They proceed to formally welcome. Basically, everyone will refer to Arathnica and stuff as either Den Mother, Great Mother, or something of that nature to show reverence to her. At least they formally welcome the caravan back, the people of the caravan and the Great Stampede back proper, and they also welcome all of the people in front. So basically, everyone in the city proceeds to give an applause and welcome, and various languages are being said, various ways of saying welcome, greetings, welcome to our city, to the party and everyone around you in this group in the center.
Kaor, aka Martian hello from John Carter.
Yeah. As Karan kind of basically says that their city has a tradition when anyone who comes to the place when the Rathnicum comes back is welcome in proper as citizen and member of Arathnica, and will always have a place in Arathnica as a form of welcoming to it. And as the whole thing gets, and basically proceeds to kind of give a rough itinerary for the following week of basically the first like 2-3 days is nothing but straight partying and celebration. The following deal is sharing of joy. It's basically sharing of stories, resources, and things that they brought back, and then one more thing, which is the formal welcoming ceremony, which officiatizes the whole you becoming citizen. And so various things of that nature, and I'm going to say loud round of applause, and the session ends.
All right, nice. Good place to end it.
We have character for Eiko. That's what I'm hanging on to.
That's not
You're not gonna beat up the old man.
Estrella.